Aspen Meadows Pack Station, and this is where I'm going to crash tonight, and then I'm going to ride up tomorrow. Aspen Meadows is right over there, and this is where I'm crashing tonight, right here. Sitting in my chair. It's going to be a lonely 10 days, I'll tell you that. But I think it'll be good. I think it'll be real nice. Looking forward to it.
And strengthen them. Sleep will then intelligently integrate and cross-link and associate that information together. And it's almost like informational alchemy, so that you wake up the next morning with a revised mind-wide web.
Nice little horseback trail. This is where they do their short rides, their 1, 2, 3 hour rides. Oh, I don't know where that goes. It probably goes up that way somewhere. All right, here we are with Bob the packer, and we're getting ready to head up the trail. And that's the horse I'm going to be riding. And a big one too. These two little guys are going up the trail with us. got into camp about 1 o'clock, and I got a spectacular spot. Tons of firewood, I mean just enormous amounts. I set up the tent. I might not even sleep in it, but if I want to, I can. Hanging food tree right there. And I'm going to build a fire over there somewhere up near that granite because it's the safest spot. I don't want to do it around here. There's too much duff and flammable shit. I'll just build it up against the rocks. And that'll be my evening view lounge. Bring the chair up there, sit around, look at the sky. Got a great view. Got a couple of high capacity batteries, a solar charger. Lake is right over there. Very nice, non-claustrophobic. Nobody's here. 0 people. I'm going to be the only human being in this entire place for the next 10 days. Wow, look at this spot. I didn't see this. No, this gets baked by the sun. Yeah, somebody's camped here before. Fuck yeah. Kind of a scow. Been a long time since somebody's been here. Yeah, you could bring stock up in here. Haystack Peak off in the distance, and it's surprisingly clear today. Tomorrow I'm going up, right up there. Coal Lake, beautiful Coal Lake. Stunningly beautiful. And there's Layton, kind of wraps around. And then there's a little isthmus that separates Layton from Carl right over there. And then right up there is Red Can Lake. Can't wait to go see that again. And there's a bunch of other lakes around here, so I'm gonna be a busy beaver for the next 10 days. Well, I just took a really delightful bath right there. Warm water. And here I am at Layton Lake, and I'm the only son of a bitch here. It's lonely out here. The fireplace for lounging around the fire and sipping brandy and other things. Right there. Nice safe spot. Sandy soil, got rock all around it. Beginning of a major wood supply. I'm gonna have to get 10 days worth of wood here. That's just about a half an hour of gathering. There's tons of wood here. But I'm gonna use it judiciously. So that's my fire. Got a nice little rock to put things on. Radio. Beautiful view spot up here for stars. Just excellent, really. Couldn't ask for a better wild backcountry camp. Well, you know, this was such a perfect day and perfect camp. I knew there had to be, there was going to be one important, potentially major fuck up. And here it is right here. I have an old Sawyer filter, squeeze filter. And the thing is, it's too old. So it's like dying. So you can't squeeze it. You have to just let it drip. See how it's just dripping one drip at a time? At least it's doing that. So I rigged up a little thing here. I also, just in case the filter gets clogged up completely and doesn't drip at all, I rigged this up at the fireplace because there's plenty of water here. Water is not a problem. Potable water is the problem. So I just rigged this little unit up so I can burn a fire and keep this thing relatively high above the fire and boil water. So whenever I have a fire, I'm going to be boiling water. I'm not going to fuck a whole trip up just because I screwed up on a water filter. Fuck that. Amazing place, man. Just beautiful. I'm going to have a lot of fun here for the next 10 days. Got some good jazz going in the background. And it is quiet. And it's just the vibe of this place. You know how you go into places and you can immediately sense negative energy and bad energy or confusion. This is just, it's just, I walked into it and it was like, here is your camp. Beautiful. I'm sipping some brandy and water. I took a bath earlier and the water was warm as fuck. I swam, I just jumped in and swam. Can't beat it. I mean, and this is like an invisible camp. I walked about 100 feet away from this camp and you can't see it. It's invisible. Haystack Peak in the center of the frame there. A little bit of smoke. I don't smell it, which is good, but you can see it, as you'll see in a second here. I'm panning down through Layton Lake. That's Layton right there. My camp is just down there, just over the edge there. This is that El Dorado fire. The winds have shifted, blowing some of it in. It's up in that direction, as you can see. Anyway, what a beautiful spot. Well, back at the camp that Carl and I stayed at in 2016. And yeah, this is actually a really nice camp, I gotta say. Nice wood supply there. That's the fireplace. Somebody altered it a little bit. That's that Danish modern that we pulled over for seating. And yeah, here it is, man. Too much. But I'm at the point, the saddle between Layton Lake and beautiful Coyote Lake right down there. I'll zoom in on it. There it is. Beautiful day. There's the stranded white whale. And There's beautiful Coal Lake right there. All right, here we are at beautiful Coal Lake. That white granite right there, I call that North Beach because it's some great swimming right there. So I'm walking at the saddle. That's the saddle right over there between Layton Lake, which is right over there, right over that ridge, and, excuse me, Coal Lake. Layton Lake is down there. And I'm walking along this ridge, and I was going to go up to that one up there, but it's really hot and smoky today. I just go up that little ramp and then cut up to the top, but I just don't feel like it. So I'm just going to walk down the base of that thing and just walk all the way around Layton Lake to the isthmus that separates Coal Lake, which is down there. Coal Lake and, excuse me, I'm stoned today. Carl's Lake and Layton Lake. So I'm just going to walk around the south side of Layton Lake to the isthmus that separates Carl's Lake and Layton Lake. So that's what I'm doing this afternoon. This is the furthest eastern extent of Layton Lake. It's a little white sand beach here. It's kind of cool. The lake is very low, as you can see. You can see where the water line is on those rocks over there. It's got to be 15 feet down from where it normally is. All this area in here would be flooded. This would all be underwater. See right over there, that's the normal lake level. This lake is going to disappear if this drought shit keeps up. It's too bad. And then up this way, right up this draw, is Red Can Lake. Just follow that green. Get you to Red Can Lake. I'm gonna go there tomorrow. I missed that isthmus. It's tricky. Even with GPS, it's really tricky. So what I did, I just walked around the entire eastern and southern side of Layton Lake until it hit Carl's Lake, and then I walked around the eastern side of Carl's Lake, which I hadn't done before, which ends over there, and I'm right there, straight ahead, just over those little granite shelves there, is where the trail comes down from Wood Lake. And somebody had a big ass grill here. This is an old Packer camp type grill. I don't know what the hell they were grilling because there's no fish in this lake. They were grilling something. Probably brought their own meat. Pretty cool. This looks like a ideal Packer camp, old style, 50s, earlier. They would come to a place like this, and then they'd have the horses. They have all kinds of places to just graze. Yeah, there's an old fire ring over here. Yeah, this is big ass Packer camp. Yeah, see? Somebody left a pile of wood. Cool. Very nice. Yeah, we came down that right over there. Yesterday we came down that, which I have on video. And now I'm just gonna relax around here, have lunch, and head back to camp. Well, I had a great day today. I went up to Coal Lake. I love that lake. Swam, bathed. And then I went along the south side of Layton Lake. And I had not done that before. I think I ridge walked it last time. I just wanted to see what the lake looked like. And then I went all the way around Coal Lake because I missed the isthmus that comes over to here that separates the two lakes. But it was a great walk. And after I had dinner, I said, how did I miss that isthmus? I got a GPS on me. What the hell am I doing? And it was a simple mistake. I just missed it by maybe 200 feet, 100 feet. So I went over and I checked it out, and I got the route down now, and I put a few markers just to make it easy. Tomorrow I'm going to head up that way and go to Red Can and enjoy tomorrow. It's very smoky right now, unfortunately. It was pretty nice the last 2 days, but today it's pretty smoky. You can actually smell it. You couldn't smell it yesterday, but you can smell it today. It's from that El Dorado fire. But other than that, this is a great camp, and I'm really enjoying it. I mean, if you want solitude, wilderness solitude, this is about as good as you're going to get. And this is primo. It doesn't get any better. If there was no smoke, it would be absolutely ideal. It would be a 10. This is really a pretty nice campsite right here. It's a very old fire ring. There hasn't been any charcoal in that in a long, long time. And you can see this fire ring from Google Earth. That's how I found this spot. And it's a very flat area. I measured it. It's like got to be 60 feet, 50 feet across. So somebody camped here. Probably had a few people out here. You could set up a lot of tents here. This would be a very nice area. It's kind of open and non-claustro. That's where I bathed down there. You just walk down this little ramp right here and right down where those trees are down there. There's some really good bathing spots. There's that smoke, son.
This question, why do psychedelics work across all these different conditions? And the best that I could find is the meaning, right? Tony Bossis at NYU talks about psilocybin, for example, as meaning-making medicine.
Because that person is part of some kind of malevolent movement that threatens the military, which obviously they're going to say January 6th is. They already referenced January 6th in this Biden defense document. So they are trying to use the apparatus of the military structure against the very people in this country who support the military. This is a time of total subversion, and this vaccine mandate is absolutely inexcusable. And if any Republican has even one cojones left, they need to be on the floor filibustering and shutting this down day in and day out because it is a national security crisis.
Wow. Is there any mention of using this internment detainee type protocol in the name of health, in the name of health and safety, in the name of COVID-19?
We are seeing strong indications from people in this world, in this military-industrial complex sector, and that includes people in the media and people in politics and people in lobbying, identifying the so-called unvaccinated as a public health crisis, as a public health risk. You'll see even Alan Dershowitz going out there and defending the so-called constitutionality of forced vaccinations. That's, of course, not true. So if they can paint the wonderful Trump patriots who went into the Capitol on January 6th as domestic insurgents, then they can use the United States military against them and begin this process of interning people. Look, they're close observers, including people who have been in the military, have been warning about this for generations. Now, after January 6th and with COVID, they see a pretext in order to do it. Not to mention the fact that West Point cadets, as we reported, are being put in solitary confinement if they don't want the vaccine, if they don't want to take this experimental Bill Gates injection into their bloodstream before they go and fight for this country. It's an absolute disgrace, and it shows the total Chi-Com, communist, and deep state subversion of the United States military right now.
Okay, so I'm walking up the draw that goes over to Red Can, and that's the top right there. Red Can is just down the other side. Really easy. It's like 15 minutes to get me from my camp to here. It's a nice, easy walk. Well, I've just arrived at beautiful Red Can Lake. I just came down that draw up there. I'm going to go over to the south side over here in this direction. There's a really nice spot. It's a nice little camp, actually. Some pitch wood over there. Very large area for tents, as you can see. It's a pretty lake. I mean, I think Cole is much better. Cole is the bomb. That's just one of the gems that I've seen. But this is nice, but it's definitely overused. Smoky as hell today. It's too bad. There's Layton. Carl is down there. And then we're back to where we started. So I had lunch up at the top. This is it. This is the pass. Right here, we are at the pass. Right down there, that goes down to Red Can Lake. And I just love these ridges and these tops of ridges. You find interesting things on them. I always do. You know, I found arrowheads. I found just lost items from people. Who the hell will be wandering up there, right? So I'm just prolonging this hike as long as I can. I might go up to the top of that. That looks really cool. I need to do that. And then head back to camp. I like to eat early. Go out and get more firewood. And then sit around the fire later when the sun goes down. See a little duck. Not the quacking variety of duck. This is cross country. This is what it's all about. This is what you do. Gotta be careful though when you're out here by yourself. Okay, what's the easiest way? Like that is. Coyote Lake. Okay, so there's a narrow isthmus about maybe 100 feet wide, maybe 200, that separates Layton Lake, which this is part of Layton Lake right here. It's like a little inlet, and Carl's Lake. And otherwise, you have to swim across. It's the only place you can cross. It's pretty circuitous. I've lost it yesterday, but last night I went out after dinner, and I found out that this is the way to do it. You just stay close to the lake, and if you follow me, we're going to walk around this little inlet, and then we're going to dip underneath that overhanging boulder formation, and then wrap around the side, and then we'll hit the isthmus. Pretty simple. All right, we just came down to the right of that ridge, a little ridge top, and we came across the isthmus, and now we're walking into my camp. Nice chair, very safe fire pit. It's all surrounded by rock and sand, and an absolutely massive wood supply. To get bigger, because I'm going to be here a lot of days, and I want a lot of wood for fire. How's this for a swimming spot? Look at this. I'm going to be in here tomorrow. This is just a short distance from my camp. Nice little ramp. Nice silty launch. Just get in there, and I'd say the center's about 8 feet, 8 feet from what I could see. And it's warm. It's real warm. Hell yeah. That's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Have an easy day. So, I'm at our old camp that me and Carl were at for 3 nice days. And there's some of the logs that Carl cut with his massive saw. Katana boy, whatever it was. And yeah, we moved that thing over here. Somebody rearranged it a bit, rearranged the fireplace a little bit. It's pretty much the way it was, but there's some more of Carl's logs. This is a good camp. I enjoyed this camp.
Your knowledge and your expectations are very high, whether the hypnotist is leading or not. So that's real hard. When I went under hypnosis, by the time I was hypnotized, I had everything I ever talked about under hypnosis. I remembered pretty much of the close encounter experience. The initial hypnosis session was very surprising because talk about it. Just somebody who will listen to you, and it doesn't matter what they think happened or didn't happen to you. You can just talk about it, and as you talk about it, this may help you to get a little bit more closure on it.
All right. West of the Rockies, you're on the air with Whitley Strieber and Art Bell. Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
All right,
This
sir.
is Dean, Mesa, Arizona.
and I could see these beans. They were like transparent. And they told me, they said, well, it's time for you to go back to work. Somebody's waiting on you. And I woke up in front of the truck, and sure enough, the delivery truck was down there at the gates waiting for me. Have you ever heard of transparent beans at all?
Well, certainly translucent. If they were completely transparent, I don't think you'd have been able to see them.
Oh,
You must have been able to see something.
It was a very pleasant experience, by the way.
Okay, again, he made a very important point, caller. If they were translucent, you would not have seen it.
All right, I just got to a beautiful unnamed tarn up on the ridge near Red Can Lake. Red Can Lake is over there, which you've seen, but I wanted to check this out, and this just looks fabulous. There's nobody goes up here. I mean, this is really remote. Kind of stuff I love, man. This makes my day. I'm gonna take a swim, bath. Yeah, baby. Yeah, man, this is gonna be my spot. No people. Just the water's great. Good for meditation, swimming. This is gonna be my hangout. This is my main spot. That's the tarn. And I'm gonna walk up, straight up that, and go to the ridge top and just take some pictures. All right, so I was down in that hole at that nice little tarn, and I went up, and now, well, I like these big reveals. They're always cool. All right. Red Can Lake. So I'm either going to go up to the top of that little knob, or this one here. I think this one looks more interesting, so that's what I'm going to go do. Okay, so I opted for the other ridge top, because that one looked like a lot of work. This one's a little work too, but it has these really cool, oh, there's the lake down there. It has these really cool ramps that you can easily walk across, shooting nice panoramic vistas. There's the top right there. We'll go up there. Ramp. All right, excuse the wind noise, but I'm standing on the highest point in this immediate area. I don't know if it has a name. I gotta check it out. So this is the best spot for, you know, this is gonna blow your mind. I get 4 lakes. That's Layton. There's Carl down there. We'll just do a 360 pan. I've got a little cheapo tripod here. But this is mind-boggling. I'll have to point it out to you. Okay. Right down there, that little patch of blue, that's Lower Bucks Lake. Continuing, we have Red Can Lake, just below this. Go all the way around back to where we started. It's kind of hazy, but I'm glad I did this. I had no idea that I would be able to see 4 lakes from this vantage point. There you have it. Yeah, I came down that draw from way up there, and I'm back at the very end of Layton Lake. Right there, that's the end. And that's where I cross over. I go around that and then around to the isthmus. It's pretty in here. I like it. So that's my home for 10 days, or actually 7 more days I've been here. 3. It's pretty nice. Very comfortable. I can fit all my shit. And then this is sort of the cooking and eating spot, because I got a nice little view. Making a freeze-dried dinner. It's a very easy way to filter water. Just put a pot underneath it and lash it, and done. Put the radio playing Pure Again Sweet. Water, that's how I store water. I just bring 2 old Clorox jugs, and I go down to the, which is a couple of 100 yards away, down to an inlet, get water. So, I'm really enjoying this. This is amazing. That's where I hang the food, right there. Oh yeah, and then this is cool too. Charging station. I got a pretty nice little solar charger. Can hold a lot of electricity, a power speaker. And I have another battery back here, an Anchor. And that's what I run podcasts and movies on my iPhone on at night. So I'm entertained. I got some books. It's great. I'm not complaining. I mean, couldn't ask for better. There it is, and a great fireplace. This is the little Sony ZV-1 that I'm taking the main video with. The iPhone's like a backup camera and a night camera. And I got a 20mm wide-angle lens on it, so it's just shooting some beautiful stuff. I can't wait to see how it looks. You can compare it with the iPhone. Should be interesting. So I'm having chicken a la king. It's pretty good. It's a good one. Wow, this might be my new favorite mountain house. God, I wish I could find more people that like to do this kind of camping. It's an unusual kind of camping. Get a horse packed in. It costs $1,100 round trip to do this. But you can camp better than you could ever imagine backpacking. And I love backpacking, but when I go backpacking, I usually go with other people. I go solo sometimes. Solo backpacking, the kind of backpacking I do, is risky because I like to get off the trail and just go cross country and go all over the place. So if something happens, it can get complicated. But I see these people, they carry these 35-pound packs, 40 pound, maybe 40 at the most. And they race up the trail. They'll do 10 miles first day. They'd be here from Wood Lake here, this area. They'd be here first day. and then they stay one night, then they race to another lake. And it's like backpack racing. I mean, if you want to do that, that's cool. You know, more power to you. Ultra light, cover a lot of ground, see a lot of different territory. I like to go to a really remote base camp like this. I don't care how I get in. You know, I love parachuting. And then explore the entire area. To me, that's more interesting. It's much more interesting. I wish I could find somebody. I mean, this would be great having a partner here, you know, male or a female. You know, female would be better, but it's time and it's experience. But there's nothing like it, man. I mean, I'm in heaven. I can't believe how this trip has worked out. Beyond my wildest expectations. Just beyond belief. Okay, enough of that. Now, some might consider this amount of firewood a bit excessive, but I'm going to be here 10 days, and I'm worried that I don't have enough. I add a bunch every day. I have a nice little technique using straps and strapping together bundles of certain size logs, and then I use this. It's like Tyvek, and I get all the small stuff, all this shit, you know, all this little stuff, this little stuff down in here. This is important, you know, anything that can fit in the bag. But I have a fire. It gets cold here by 8 o'clock, so I just, you know, I build a small fire and I just put, you know, a little log or two on, and it lasts 4 hours every night. So I'm out here till midnight, which is what I like. I love to be out looking at the stars and looking for UFOs and hoping I hear Sasquatch and things like that. So that's another big luxury of this place. There's abundant down wood. It's everywhere, all around, just tons of it. So, you know, if I had a bigger saw, I'd saw that. That's really good pitchwood right there, man. That shit burns long and hard. I might work it. I'll see if I can work it. I have a small saw, but it's pretty thick. Anyway, oh, there's another one. That stuff is like jet fuel or rocket fuel. So anyway, I don't think it's excessive. It's what I need. I'm gonna be here 10 frickin' days. And that's my view spot up there. I go up to the top. Great view spot. Yeah. That's how you do it, man. That's my camp right there. Right down there. This gives you a nice perspective of the splendid location right next to Layton. And then way over here is Carl. Very strategically located campsite, if I must say. Yeah, man, I own it. It's mine for 10 days. All mine. This works real nice. You just strap it onto the tree. Walk away. Yeah, you gotta adjust it. It moves a little bit, but No muss, no fuss. All right, so I just went swimming down at Coyote Lake. And what I'm going to do, see if you can see this. Okay, there's a ridge line up here, and if you follow it over here, you can't see it. It kind of trends down this way, and it keeps rolling along like that. Eventually, it drops down to Coyote Lake. So I'm just going to do ridge walking today, and that's the little notch right there that I'm headed to. So I followed that ridge up there, and then I got to this big knob, and it's real steep and it's technical, and I said fuck it, so I just came down here. What I'm going to do, which I haven't done yet, is walk the north side of Bladen Lake. I've walked the south side a number of times, but I've never actually walked the length of this, going all the way down, to its ending, down where my camp is. So that's what I'm going to do. This is the kind of stuff you do for fun when you're out here. Especially by yourself, because there's nothing else to do.
Years of US Air Force statements, there is a flight safety issue, and more importantly, this is a probable or a possible national security concern. And it also asked the question, and various officials have commented on this as well, was this potentially American technology? Is this something that's being worked on in the black? Because that's the Occam's razor explanation. The potentially most simple explanation here is that what we're looking at is a technology.
So I just had dinner, and
different aerospace breakthroughs.
This is what I do until I light the fire. I listen to UFO and Bigfoot podcasts and science podcasts, and
but the Americans
just scope things out.
Denied that's the case.
Otherwise, you go crazy.
Said that it's not
I'm out here by myself. There's no one to talk to, so I got to hear some human voices when I'm out here.
Very much
and it's kind of cool, actually.
Rivals, China or Russia.
This is a good one.
That it's not
this Australian journalist.
Technology from any other country on the planet.
Saw something unusual last night, but I can't really say it was a UFO. It could have been a satellite, but it was moving in very erratic ways.
The significance of the
UAP
task force
report that went to Congress keep going, then it would stop. So I don't know what it was.
Mind-blowing.
Couldn't get it on the camera, though. It was too faint. So I'm just hanging out down at the lake, and I'm going to walk back to camp. So I'll do a walk through just to show you what the terrain is like here.
Because Carl Sagan made that claim, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Why should extraordinary claims require any more evidence than we normally expect for any scientific approach? Why should they? It has to purpose scientists and feels that they can assume its purpose. And also, more importantly, if I can just assert this to your audience, science doesn't own the people who say that they're the great leaders of science. They don't own science. Science is a gift that came as a result of human understanding under the Enlightenment. We understood that superstitious belief based on no doubt and no evidence was a really crazy way to run a society. You can't stone women who heal people just because you think they're a witch. It may very well be that the willow bark that they were using genuinely could fix pain. You know, we've used science as a way of verifying phenomena that previously we treated with religious superstition and belief. And now, what's interesting to me is modern science is, or parts of modern science, very much institutional modern science, are refusing to engage or declining or reluctant to engage with a phenomenon that
There's
is
a living
showing
room.
itself. It's turning up on the sensor systems of US fighter jets.
And our
It's being tracked by
ridiculous wood supply.
aircraft. It's being monitored on the combat weapons systems.
If you look carefully, you see an alien covering one eye, like with his left hand. Not a bad place to spend 10 days. Well, I'm on my way over to Coyote Lake, which is on this knob. I mean this little gap up here from what the map says. But this is kind of cool. I like this granite. You get the idea. But I just came down from this pass right up there on the ridge, the lowest point on the ridge, and I hit Coyote Lake. Actually, it's pretty nice. I'm going to go in right here where the sandy beach is and just take a bath, maybe do a little swimming. But yeah, very nice. I don't see any or hear any people here. It's probably not camped on very often, but definitely a worthwhile day trip, for sure. And easy, simple. Took me no time at all to get here. Almost looks like some ancient ceremonial setting here. Kind of cool. Actually, it's a dried up pond. This is the ridge that separates the valley that shoots off of Carl's Lake, and over here, just down a ways, Coyote Lake. So it's like a right at the top and center of the ridge. This is South Beach at Coal Lake. This is where I go in. You can see it's white sand and rock. So it's not all this, you step down to your knee in silt. It's really nice, and the water's warm there, so you can just sit there and bathe. No one's here except me. It's the Wood Witch. Always like this view. This is coming up from, this is the pass that leads down to Coyote Lake, right over there, about a couple of 100 yards. And I'm just gonna, this is my last day here. I'm just gonna take a lot of pictures. My camp is right around the other side of that little knob right there, going that way. And I'm gonna head down this way to the forest and stay cool and just shoot some pics. And that's it. Well, it's my last night here. I'm coming back a couple of days early. No big deal. 8 days is plenty. Horse packers are going to pick me up tomorrow at about 10 o'clock. We walk up to the lounge. It's been a wonderful camp. Boy, somebody, whoever comes across this, is going to have a bountiful supply of firewood.
Automatically, remote sensors to take pictures, etc. In the event they came across anything. But reading the file, it doesn't look like there's much thought.
Very successful trip.
The dolphins and a lot less.
Couldn't be better.
Each other, it might not come off the best
Didn't
for the
see
dolphins.
anyone.
The program was sort of quietly shut down, but it was intriguing that the government of the day spent quite a bit of money sort of researching how to get the dolphins, and how to strap them with all this equipment and train them in Loch Ness, and it was all done under the cloak of secrecy throughout the 1980s.
I wish the intelligence groups of the military would leave the poor dolphins.
All right, we're riding out of Coyote Lake. Beautiful day. All right, we're at the Wood Lake Trail. All right, this is the cutoff over to Big Lake and Yellowhammer Lake, right up here. That's it right there. It goes off to the left. Wasasco Lake is right up there, up above that ridge. He's trying to eat it while he's walking. Or she's... That's the horse I'm riding, mare, Jordan. That's Clayton, the packer. What's this guy's name?
Smoke.
Smoke? And who's this?
Talladega.
Talladega. All right. Well, we're just above the granite staircase, and then we're going to drop down into Grouse Lake area and then head up the hill. We're almost there. Good girl. Good girl. Got a loose shoe we have to repair here. That's what you got to do when you're out here. Massive windstorm knocked all these trees down. I mean, it wasn't like this the last time I was up here. This is all from a storm. It's crazy. Just uprooted. Imagine the amount of energy it must have taken to do that. Look at that. Crazy. God, this whole area just got wiped out. Pine Valley had a big fire, and now all these little trees are growing back like crazy. I mean, I can tell the difference just from the time that I've been, since the last time I was here. All these trees here were little tiny things, about 2-3 feet high. Yeah, this used to be full of water. We would stop here and get water right here. There was always water in it. Amazing. And a new forest here. Come on, do one for the camera. Well, we're getting real close to the trailhead here. Just down the bottom of the hill. Been a fantastic ride. Great ride up, great ride back. Couldn't ask for more. Absolutely splendid ride. No. I need those. I still need them. I need them. You never know I might meet a beautiful woman and have kids. Well, here we are. So I'm flopping here for the night. I don't want to drive back to the city. So it's a horse camp. It's kind of a shit camp, but it's fine. I'm gonna sleep on that table right there. And these guys are kind of cool. Hey, buddy. Eat 'em up. So I decided not to go back to the city tonight and drive at night, which I hate. So I'm just gonna flop here at this horse camp, just a few hundred yards away from Aspen Meadows Pack Station, and I'm gonna sleep on that table. So I got my podcasts, I got my beer, I got my weed, and I got beautiful forest. I'm real happy about it. I did not want to drive back to the city at night. Yeah, it's a shithole, but hey, it's in the woods. It's all that matters.